Many parents don't have a parenting problem. We have a blueprint problem. And here's what I mean. The fact is that every parent was once a child, and a parenting blueprint was formed by our own upbringing. And every one of us is raising a child, or we're raising children in some way from that very blueprint that we didn't even design, but was handed to us, and we are handing it over to the generation after us. And the danger is if we fail to examine that blueprint early on and thoroughly, no parenting style will save you. Not gentle parenting, not authoritative parenting, or anything else. None of that will ever be enough. So today, I want to show you why I believe the parenting method you choose matter less than the parent-child relationship you build. So stick around, because I think this one idea could completely change the way you view parenting and how you parent. There's this debate between gentle parenting and authoritative parenting that has gone on for many years. And it has enough momentum and people standing behind either side for that battle to keep going for many more years. One side believes that children need more empathy, and the other side believes that children need more structure. But I think both sides are actually asking the very wrong question. But by the end of this video, you understand why some children obey but never really open up. You would also understand why discipline sometimes changes the behavior while it's damaging the relationship. And that relationship for me is very vital. I would also be sharing with you 3 anchors that every child needs before correction really sinks into them, before correction works. And finally, we'll be looking at when discipline should come first and when your relationship with your child should come first. My name is Nosakhare Osawe, and this is Family Journey Online, where we help parents to build stronger relationships that last a lifetime. So let me give you a backstory. My mother was a teacher in my primary school. So everybody knew me, knew whose child I was, and the expectation was pretty high. And I performed pretty well in primary school because there was a very strict structure. When I got to school, when I went on break, what I ate, when I left school, my assignments, when it was done, and everything was well structured. But then secondary school happened, and that structure was not there anymore. I had more freedom, and I did whatever I wanted, and then I started to struggle. And then I sat for a particular exam I can remember, and I did very badly. I came 16th in class, and then I couldn't go home. I was scared. What I did, a very stupid thing, was change the result from 16th to 6th. That gave me a bit of confidence to take the result home. But then when I got home, I presented the result to my mom. She was quiet. She didn't say anything to me. She didn't confront me. She didn't ask further questions. She just went in, got dressed, and she went out. And then you would wonder, what would make a parent ignore such a bad behavior from a child? But then, in this video, I'm going to explain a bit of that to you and let you know how our decision that particular day defined the trajectory of our relationship from that moment even to this very day that I speak to you. So, back to my story. Looking back, I could easily say and come to the conclusion that my mother wasn't pretending that I hadn't lied or hadn't done anything bad. She was protecting something she knew was much more harder to rebuild than a report card. I'm talking about our relationship. She was a very strict disciplinarian, and I have memories to remind me of what she was capable of doing. And that was one of the reasons why I could not even go home in the first place. Most parenting advice would tell us what to do after a child tells a lie. But very few people take the time to ask, why did the truth feel unsafe in the first place? And that's where I think both gentle parenting and authoritative parenting often fall short, because parenting methods are not foundations. The relationship between the parent and the child are the foundation of any parenting. And the method doesn't fail first. The relationship does. And that is why I teach relationship-centered parenting. I'm talking about a relationship built on 3 anchors. An anchor is what holds a ship steady. No matter how big it is, the anchor has a job to do, and it does its job. Break even one of those anchors, and the whole relationship starts to drift. And many relationships today between parents and children is drifting. Some are even in a state where you can't even call it drifting. That's gone beyond that. So I'm going to share these 3 anchors with you right now. The first anchor we're going to talk about is safety. Now, in this day and age, many parents are doing amazing jobs handling the physical aspect of safety. So they protect the child, make sure the environment is safe, the home is safe and secure. But when it comes to emotional safety, a lot of people are falling short. And I fall short for myself sometimes. Because an ideal home should be a home where a child feels safe to fail, feels safe to confess, feels safe to disappoint, feels safe to face consequences. It's not a home where they feel safe to go about doing crazy stuff and exhibiting bad behaviors and stuff. No. But it should be a place where there's accountability. The question we often fail to ask is, why do children lie? Why do they hide mistakes? Why do teenagers all of a sudden just stop talking to their parents? Because these things are what parents face every day. Physical safety for most of us is something very easy and we manage to do it very well. But when it comes to emotional safety, that's where many parents, many of us fail. Children don't become honest because they are afraid. They become honest because it's safe to tell the truth. And the first 60 seconds after your child's biggest mistake may determine whether they ever tell you about the next mistake. I have a question I'd like you to answer honestly. If your child made a very serious error right now or made a very big mistake in their day-to-day life, who will they call first? Will they run home or will they run away from home? The answer to that question tells you more about your parenting than a parenting style ever could. Children don't become honest because they are afraid out of fear. They become honest because it's safe to tell the truth. And that goes a long way to tell about the environment that was created for such a child. Anchor 2 is attention. And this talks about how you choose to spend your time, the things you pay enough attention to notice, the connection you decide to build, the way you listen to your child, what you listen to, what you choose to hear, how you play with them, how long you play with them, and the kind of boundary you create while you're playing with them, how you make eye contact with them, how often and how easily you're able to put the phone down and communicate with them. Now, everything you're doing right now, the toys you buy, the school fees you pay, the food you cook, babysitting, the nappy you change, can be done by anybody else. Anybody with good reasons can do everything you're doing for your child right now. But one thing they cannot do is to replace your presence. They cannot replace your voice. They cannot replace your intensity. They cannot replace your influence. It's memorable. That experience is the only thing that your child can get from you, but they can't get it from anybody else. Now, the greatest gift your child needs isn't as expensive as you might think. Anybody can buy toys, anybody can pay school fees, but nobody, absolutely nobody, can replace your presence in your child's life. Presence is one of the experiences that your child can only get from you. Nobody else can replicate your presence. The third anchor is trust. Every trust that is meaningful is built slowly, and if it's broken, it's repaired slowly. How? Through very honest conversations. Conversations that do not have much boundaries. Mistakes will be made, but repair should follow those mistakes. Trust is built through listening, through apologizing when you need to apologize, through consistent discussions and talking, reviewing of issues and events going on in their lives. Trust is one reaction, one conversation, one mistake, and one repair from either breaking or being reinforced. Children don't stop having problems. Some parents look at the child, oh, the child is having a peaceful life, the child doesn't bother nobody. They have problems. They only stop bringing that problems to you. And the day your child starts to hide their problems from you, they become less safe, they become lonelier, they become more vulnerable, they become a prey in a very, very crafty and wicked world. But here's the parenting mistake that scares me the most. I'm not afraid my child will make mistakes. Every child makes mistakes. Adult makes mistakes. We all do make mistakes. But I'm afraid if they will stop bringing those mistakes to me. Children don't stop having problems. They only stop bringing those problems to you. And when they stop, a very sensitive and attentive parent should know that something has changed. And that is one of your responsibility as a parent. It's one of my responsibility to know where those changes occur. So back to my story. Months later, after I changed that result and my mom said nothing to me, a lot of things happened in the background. Because the following week, she visited my school and had a meeting with one of my class teachers. After that meeting, my long break was cancelled. I had no play. The short break, I could go. For the long break, I spent it in the staff room with that teacher. The teacher was helping me go through most of my classwork, making sure I understood, making sure that I paid attention to what I'm supposed to pay attention to. When I got home, my breaks were slashed. There was no play. There was like my life just changed. Everything changed. It's like that event and that action of mine reminded her of what the goal actually is. And the effect showed because the next exam I wrote, I did better. I was 8 in the class. Of course, not a mind-blowing result, but it was an improvement because of the few things that she did to help me. Now, when I discovered that I've done better in my results, I went back home, not with all the confidence in the world, but I felt a bit more confident. To go back home now and show her this particular result. Still with fear, because in my head, I had moved from 6th to 8th. But then when I got there, I was feeling very guilty. And I told her what I've done. And then her response changed a lot of things in me. And that response has formed a whole lot of understanding in me in how I parent even today. She said to me that she knew that I had done something with that result, and that was not what was given to me from the school. And realizing that she knew I had done something very terrible, and she didn't choose to shame me, she didn't choose to disgrace me, she didn't choose to see a problem, but then instead saw a need to help me get better, reinforced something in me, even how I parent my children today. And that brings me to one thing I really want to say in this video. When your child has done something wrong, the world does not have to know. Are you shielding the child or defending the child? Yes. You should shield and defend your child. If it's not a registered doctor, a spiritual leader, or it's your spiritual mentor or whatever that is, or a therapist or a psychologist who has the skills to directly help that child physically or spiritually, the wrongs of your child is not meant for the world to dissect and assess and judge. Because if you tell the world about one wrong the child has done, ensure to go back and tell them all the right that the child has done. And if you do that, you are exposing your child to more people, more scenarios than they are supposed to have been exposed to. So if you would not reciprocate and tell the world all the good things that they do, and they do a lot of that every day, the wrong things belong to you and within your household, not even with your siblings most of the time. That is not their problem. It's between you and the child, because the goal is to fix the problem, not to shame the child. The goal is to find a solution that helps the child. The million-dollar question is, what's the real problem with gentle parenting and authoritative parenting? The fact is, neither one is enough by itself as a standalone method. Parenting methods don't transform children, relationships do. And gentle parenting without trust can easily slip into permissiveness, into permissive parenting. And authoritative parenting without trust easily can become control. But when the relationship comes first, almost every healthy parenting method becomes even more effective. So before you punish your child, before you correct the behavior, check the relationship. Is the relationship in the right place? You need to ask yourself, do I understand the source of this particular behavior? Because children really become who they want through fear. You can't terrorize your way out of that problem that a child has. You can't broadcast your way out of it. They become who they're becoming through the connection that you have with them. And it's via that connection you can reach to the deepest part of their spirit and minds and souls and effect the change. If this video changed the way you think about parenting, I've written a deeper guide on the 3 anchors of relationship-centered parenting over at familyjourneyonline.com. The link is in the description down below. And if you want to raise children who don't just obey, but trust and feel safe with you, subscribe to Family Journey Online. I'll see you in the next video. And please, don't forget, parenting is temporary. The relationship is lifelong. See you in the next one.